y'all, it's Timothy. I look sexy today. Anyway, but cockiness and vanity aside, I was just gonna say, I feel bad whenever there's like those kids who grow up like refusing to believe that their parent could ever be considered like a narcissist or abuser. Trust me, my own siblings are like that. Like, you know, they've said to my face, oh, I mean, it would be ridiculous if I like, if I held a grudge with mommy. And yes, she forced us all to call her mommy. I do not call that bitch mommy. I call her that bitch. I call her idiot. I call her that stupid fucking whore. So don't ever misconstrue my words to think I would ever fix my lips to call her that. Intentionally, I am quoting. Anyway, but my older brother would say shit like, oh, but, you know, it would be ridiculous to still be mad at her for, like, shit she did when we were kids. And it's like, no, you fully can. You fully can. Like, you know, she was out here whooping all of our asses with the windows open, curtains open, so that everyone could fucking see her strip us naked and beat the shit out of us with a belt. All because, oh, look, usually it was my older brother who did the fuck shit. But it would be like, oh, who took a bite out of my Taco Bell burrito late at night? Oh, well, no one's responding. I guess I'm going to beat the shit out of all of you for fucking hours until one of you confesses. And then I'm going to blame you for the individual treatment of, and then I'm just, you know, she makes it like, yeah, see, it's your fault this happened. If it wasn't for you, you fucking asshole, I would have never had to beat your sisters. Or it could be something like, oh, hey, one of the kids put a string of toilet paper like up on the bunk beds because they thought it was funny. Despite the toilet paper not in any way being damaged or like unusable at all, and how the situation could easily be resolved with, why the fuck would you do that? Take that shit and put it back in the bathroom now, or no TV for the rest of the night. Instead, she'd go, I'm gonna beat the shit out of all my kids over this with the belt as hard as I can, screaming, crying, all that shit. And yet my siblings will still be like, oh, how dare you ever allude that she's ever a bad person? Because she is actively a bad person. I have seen her smack the shit out of kids that she has never given birth to these kids. What's worse is she's a babysitter and a nanny. I've literally seen her smack the shit out of kids that aren't hers, or threaten to be kids that aren't hers, and no, she was not given permission to do that. Like, if I said that I witnessed her pick up a fucking infant in her hand and beat the shit out of it, like a literal infant that can't speak, drooling out of its mouth, can't fucking walk anywhere, it's barely even able to crawl, and she picked it up in one hand and smacked the shit out of it on its hind legs and backside as hard as she could, as if it was a full-grown man, no one would believe me, because that's how narcissists work. They curate their image in such a way that they seem perfect to everyone else. Plus, I've dated dudes, and then they'll just be like, oh yeah, my mom's this is how it usually starts off. I meet a woman, she's super sweet. She's like, oh my God, you're so pretty, you're so amazing, I love you so much. Oh, here, let's sit at the table and talk for hours. Here's like a bunch of fruit. Here's all the food I have in the fridge. Let's talk about our lives. Like, let's bond over womanhood and compassionate. That's the shit my mom did too. That's how they rope you in. And then it gets worse, because then usually it would be shit that would make the child look bad. And this could be of any age. Like, you could be like, okay, why are their sons lashing out like this, cursing them out? They seem entitled, lazy, spoiled. Like, I remember one of my ex-boyfriends, when we were like first started dating, they actually were like seething in rage, like fist balled up, turning red, huffing, puffing, fuming, because their mom said that they couldn't use the big TV that was directly next to her bedroom at like 2 a.m. because it would keep her up during the night. Plus, it was an hour-long TV show. So I understood, but he kept going back and forth with her, and then he came into the room, despite what seemed like a simple interaction, he was like seething rage and red. And that's what narcissists benefit off of. If they can make you look like the bad person and they look like the calm, cool, and rational one, that's how they win. And then later on, you learn the worst things about them, because their children will say things like, oh yeah, when I was a kid, my mom only had custody of me for like one single day of the week because the courts and everybody around us knew that she was a toxic parent. Or it'll be shit like, oh yeah, you know, sometimes my mom can be a fucking bitch, but she's not a bad person. You know, she just has issues. She grew up in a rough time. Like, you know, I casually grew up with her punching me in the face, but hey, don't you dare say she's a bad person. And it's like, you were 5, nigga. You should not be getting socked in the face by a grown-ass woman, like, no matter her age. I don't care if she's like a 16-year-old teen mom who doesn't fucking know better, or if she's like a woman in her 60s who literally just, why do y'all birth kids? I hate people who birth kids and don't even bother to do research on how to properly discipline them without fucking traumatizing them. Because that's why we have so many fucked up adults on the planet. Do you think I came out this way because I grew up in a well-adjusted, healthy home? No. Nuh-uh. Lots of abuse, lots of neglect, lots of conversations that they didn't think I would hear, and things that they thought I would keep my mouth shut on. But luckily I am old, well, 22, and I have no legal requirement to ever shut my mouth about things I've witnessed. I just feel bad because it'll be like, how do you not realize that your parents are abusive? Like this one guy I used to fuck, nice ass fella, but his family basically heard that he had sex with me in a car that is technically his. Yeah, I believe he owns that car. But they basically said, that's it. Fuck you for having sex. Mind you, he's 23 fucking years old, but they're super religious and Latino. And so basically they were like, oh, okay, fuck you, we're taking away your car. You can't do shit. You just stay your ass in the house. You go to work and then come immediately back. And if you're not back within the next 20 minutes, we're taking something else from you. And that is not healthy. And I remember specifically telling him, you're a little too grown for this. And I wasn't shading him. I was saying, no, you can do whatever you want. I'm very open with letting people know that some things that they did that they think warrants the abuse and control and manipulation they think they I just let them know you didn't deserve that. So with him, I was like, you are at the age where everyone your age has probably had sex by now 1,000,000 times over. And they're mad at you, someone with a well-paying job who pays rent and does no crimes, no drugs, nothing illegal of the sort. You just had a nice, pleasant, orgasmic experience with a girl that you liked. That is completely fine. And I even said, if you want, you can see me right now. And he was like, oh, word? I don't know, I'm nervous. And I said, do it. I encourage rebellion in these types of people. And I said, the car is legally yours. You could sneak out, just silently drive it out the driveway with the lights off, sneak out, come fuck me in it, drive it back, act like nothing happened. And he did, and he felt relieved. He felt happy as shit. And that's what I love. I love when people go, oh, my parents actually a fucking cunt. Why was I ever enabling this treatment? Because I even remember when I was 13 or so. Yeah, I was 13. And my sister, I don't know what fucking age I was, it doesn't matter. What matters is my sister had graduated from high school at the time. She was legally 18. She did not live in my mom's house. But I remember one day, my mom came home and she raged at everybody in the fucking house. And she said, everyone go to their fucking rooms right now. And you know what everyone did? They went into bedrooms that they didn't even own or pay rent in. Everyone just went to their childhood bedrooms and sat in there like sniveling little idiots, just waiting for mommy to tell them what the fuck to do. And I remember my sister being like, I really don't want to be here. I got things to do, but I don't want to see her. I can't believe she's keeping us here. And I told her, well, at least you can legally go somewhere. You have a car, you have keys, you could just leave and go. Me, I'm legally supposed to stay here because I'm a minor, but you can leave at any time. And she acted like I didn't say shit. She said, no, you don't get it. No, I'm stuck here. And it's like, bitch, no. I really wish if I had the exact same mouth I said now, I would say, you are a fucking pussy. You walk your ass down that hallway, leave the house, block her phone number so she doesn't send you 8 fucking essays in a row saying how you're a horrible piece of shit, a bitch, an awful kid, blah, blah, blah. And then you simply drive your ass to your apartment. And if she tries to do any weird shit like, ooh, I'm going to follow you to your apartment in my car then, and I'm going to bang on your door since you won't respond to my fucking... You just simply call the cops on that bitch. Or you just say, I have a gun and get the fuck out. Just... See, this is the perks of being one of the kids who was like, yeah, my parents are a toxic piece of shit. Because the people who don't end up having their whole lives, decades and decades and decades of generational trauma continuing, fucking up it for everybody. Hell, even my fucking mother, she was afraid of her, even when my fucking mom had her mother, my grandmother, sleeping in the same bedroom with me, she was still afraid of her own grandmother. Her own fucking mom. Despite her being a raggedy bitch that shits herself, losing hair, weak as hell, she was still terrified of her. Why? Because she never tried to break the tension, to stand up to her. And I think that's pathetic. I do not want to ever be that type of parent that has their own kid being afraid of the person they can never fucking stand up to. No. So, y'all can be 20, 30, 40, still listening to what mommy and daddy want, still shivering in your boots when you see them. Me, though, it's nah, I'm sorry, I have a fucking gun and I'm gonna use it. Anyway, take care of yourselves.